It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdown. Hope everybody's doing well out there, man. Don't have a lot of time, so I'm not going to play any music and try to find a track to go at the top of this video. But I want to get through this quickly and effectively, all right? So for those that may not know, I'm sure you do by now, Stefon Diggs is currently on trial with his ex-personal chef, who came out and accused him of domestically abusing her inside of his home, right? She said that he pushed her, choked her, and went from there, right? Now, this thing has been circulating for a little over a year and some change. We know that this came out while Stefon was still in relationship with Cardi B. And that was a bit controversial. Even Cardi had came out and released a statement about it at one point where she felt like Miss Mila Adams, which is the ex-personal chef, was lying on the situation and trying to extort Stefon out of money. And today she was able to take the stand and testify at the trial. Okay? Now, I don't know what happened. And I'm not going to act like I do. I'm not going to say whether she's telling the truth or lying. And there's a lot of footage out there, hours worth of footage out there from her testimony today. I do not have time to go through all of it. But what I will do is go through some of the footage that's been circulating on social media just to get a temperature check on how this trial is going, how Miss Mila's handling herself on the stand, her account of the situation as her story goes, and the nature of her relationship with Stefon Diggs, because a lot of people are trying to understand how or why it would be that he would be putting hands on his chef, and what would lead to that becoming physical. Okay, so I've got a compilation of about 10 minutes of different moments on the stand from today. I'm going to go ahead and pull them up. I'm going to put myself in the corner and y'all can kind of, chime in, give me your assessment. Let me know what y'all think of all of this as we make our way through it.
Over those 4 or so years, how would you characterize your relationship with Mr. Diggs?
I would say it's complicated. We had it started out as friends. It started out as friends, became sexual, and we would meet up, hang out, and we decided I would come work for him like February of 2025.
So you said February 2025, you and he talked about you working for him?
Yes.
And that's as a private chef?
Yes.
What were the sort of terms of your employment like?
Okay, hold on. So she says that they met, and so with her being his personal chef, it sounds like the impetus of their meeting, how they met, was not based on business, right? So they met, they became friends, they hung out, and eventually it was put on the table that she could become his personal chef. He would support her business. I'm guessing that she was trying to get her cooking business off the ground. I've seen some footage allegedly of her trying to sell Philly cheesesteaks and stuff like that, and plates and whatnot. So that's something she had an interest in, and he was going to support her in that. That's how she got the job to begin with, not from her experience, but more so from their personal relationship. They got intimate, and he said, "I'll hire you as my chef." At the time, I don't recall the timeline with Cardi and all of that, but here we go.
Like, were you going to be living with him?
Yes.
And how many meals or what was it like working for him?
Can you say that again?
Yeah, yes. So, as far as your employment goes, what were your duties working as a Mr. Diggs private chef?
My duties were to make all his meals, his snacks, basically get him healthy. That was the start of our initially hiring me. He was coming back. It was his comeback year. And I wanted to help him get healthy, to eat better too.
So, how does it, do you create a menu? Does he just tell you what he wants? Do you...
I'm skilled with recovery, so I knew what it would take to get him, help him get healthy and stay healthy, to help him change his diet. So it was more so like diet change would be the focus, and just overall help.
And did you
I wonder, man, like live in, chef, move in, provide 3 meals a day. Y'all have already been intimate. You're coming in under the impression that you're helping him, nurse his injury back to health so that he could come in and be an asset to the team. I wonder how she felt when Cardi B started coming around. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds to me like you might have thought that you was going to be live-in girlfriend / chef. I don't know if that's the impression she received, but just receiving this information, and I have not read her police report. I don't know all the details of everything, but, or at least I don't recall reading it. If I did read it, it might have been last year, but I don't remember the details of it. So I'm sure that could have been confusing as well. Or maybe she thought she was going to play her role. I don't know. But that sounds interesting. And it sounds, honestly, if I'm going to be real, it sounds like something that could be like super common. If you're like into fitness, you're into nutrition, sports nutrition and stuff like that, you meet you meet a guy who's an athlete. Y'all talking about him getting back on the field and all this stuff. Y'all already have an attraction to each other. So you probably would volunteer to be like, shoot, hire me. I could get you back to health. I can nurse. Yeah, I got you. I'm into sports nutrition and everything. I cook, I do everything. Give me a shot. And y'all already got this little, something between y'all. I could definitely see that being the start of how all of this thing gets ramped up.
Did you cook just for him or for other people as well?
Yes, I will cook for whoever was in the house.
And I know you mentioned earlier your breakfast. Is that the sort of standard? Was it every day breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then?
Yes, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks.
And how much did you get paid for this?
We agreed on $2,000 a week.
And how did you get paid?
Finance office would pay me.
What, if anything, happened near the end of November?
Yeah.
$2,000 a week. So approximately $8,000 a month, just a hair shy of $100,000 a year before taxes.
A Instagram DM message was sent to his,
which I personally think already is low. All right, for a personal chef, star athlete, anything less than 100 racks is pretty much a slap in the face. And of course, she's claiming that he restricted her pay at a certain point as well, and owes her back pay.
child's mother's friend, and this message was stating that I was telling his personal business of women that he was sleeping with that worked with us, that worked with me. And yeah.
And so,
as far as I can remember, what that message said.
And
so,
how did this create friction within the people working for Mr. Diggs?
I was confronted by Mr. Diggs if I said these things. But it had already been Mr. Diggs had a ongoing sexual relationship with Lindsey Bolan, and this person, she didn't like me, that fact that I was in the house.
So you mentioned Lindsey Bolan. Who's that person?
Lindsey Bolan, it works for Mr. Diggs.
And how? Like, what does she do?
I can't quite answer that. I just know he provides housing,
So she's
taser.
someone
I
who
don't
works
know.
for him.
Yeah, she works for him.
Damn. So he was sleeping with the chef and Miss Lindsay, who we don't even know what her actual position is. Sounds like some positions are being explored, but we don't know which ones professionally. Okay. Which, damn, bro, this nigga is at bare minimum. I don't know if he put his hands on her or not, but at bare minimum, it's definitely with the information we have about him. He's a sex addict. He is a fiend. He cannot seem to get his shit together. He's spending more time in the sack than on the field. He's with his quarterback getting sacked. At bare minimum, we know that much, and we see that also is a shared characteristic of Offset. So I do wish Cardi B the best in finding, love elsewhere, not these types of niggas. But we'll move on because she's not really involved in this.
And so, did you and Lindsay get into any sort of argument, you mean, or?
We didn't get in. We got in an argument after Mr. Diggs confronted me. She sent me a message first, per his instruction, and called me a name. Excuse my language, guys. A bitch, and she just went on and on and on in this message about me.
Objection, Your Honor.
So this nigga's staff is comprised of his stable of women, is what it sounds like.
Maybe we heard it side by side.
At some point, were members of Mr. Diggs' staff going to go down to a trip to Miami?
The whole staff was supposed to go there, yes.
And you said the whole staff.
I wasn't finished on that last question.
That's fine, but I'm asking questions now.
Okay.
So at some point, members of his staff were supposed to go down to Miami, right?
Yes.
When you said the whole staff, how many people was this?
His assistant, myself, and his friends. It wasn't.
And did you end up going down to Miami?
No.
And why is that?
Mr. Diggs told me that I couldn't go because me and her had an issue from November 26th issue.
Your Honor, may we proceed with some questions?
What is this?
All right, jurors, at this point, we are approaching the luncheon.
So you said you pushed out and you made a motion with your hands. So does that mean you pushed with your hands
Yes.
around what, like his stomach, his chest, his shoulders?
Up to block his hands.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then he
So she's recalling the incident,
Can I have a second? Can I have
the
a
alleged
second?
incident, let me say.
Yes, you can.
Right. When I went up to push his hand, block him, block him, he took his arm and he came around my neck with the grip of his elbow around my neck, and he began to choke me, pressure on my neck with his elbow.
Is there a difference between the text messages that you provided to the denim?
Before we get there, so she's saying that he pushed her and allegedly put his elbow around her neck. So I'm guessing kind of like in a choke out position, like a sleeper hold or something. And applied pressure allegedly. Okay. I got to keep saying that because again, I do not know what happened. We will have to determine what is and what isn't actually true from once this thing proceeds and a verdict is found. Okay. But that's her account, which is why we're here, which is why this whole trial is happening in the first place. So now they're questioning her about inconsistencies in her story or information that has been deleted or removed from what was sent to the police. Okay?
Around my neck, and he began to choke me, pressure on my neck with his elbow.
Is there a difference between the text messages that you provided to the Dedham police and the text messages that are here?
Yes.
And what is that difference?
I deleted bet and pussy, and I'm ruining that bitch life.
I'm ruining that bitch life. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And why did you delete those phrases when you provided those text messages to the Dedham police?
Because
So now I understand why Cardi B kind of got involved momentarily. She kind of removed herself pretty quickly from the situation, but she did kind of jump in at one point. And I understand if that gets back to you, that this chef that you trusted, that you been around, I would presume that Cardi had her kids in the house being fed by this lady as well. Not to mention she has a child with him now, which, but that's not here nor there. That came later. And to see a text message where this woman says, I'm ruining that bitch life, I can understand why she would take offense to it and perhaps want to defend the situation. But again, she removed herself shortly thereafter.
when I was abused in my previous relationship, when I would say things,
The objection is sustained.
he would.
The objection is sustained. There's no question there. Again, the jurors will disregard it. Sidebar.
So that piece that we just saw, they asked her a question about. Well, let me bring that back.
Life. Not mistaken.
Deleted text.
Yeah.
And why did you delete those phrases when you provided those text messages to the Dedham police?
Because when I was abused in my previous relationship, when I would say things,
The objection.
So they're asking her why she deleted those phrases from the text messages that she submitted. And she started talking about a previous relationship in which she was abused rather than speaking to what's currently being asked or the reason why she's actually on the stand for Stefon Diggs. So she went to a completely different situation, which definitely caused question to some of her credibility. Again, I do not know what happened. I don't purport to know. I'm sure we'll find out. And let's be clear, I don't fuck with Stefon Diggs, no way. So if it comes out that he actually did this shit and he got to serve time or catch a felony or catch a L in any capacity, I'm all for that shit, right? But that was very evasive. And to try to pull up a horror story from a previous relationship that's not related to the question that they asked you, that is very interesting at the least.
when I was abused in my previous relationship, when I would say things,
The objection is sustained.
he would.
The objection is sustained. There's no question there. Again, the jurors will disregard it. Sidebar.
And I don't mean to be overly critical of Mila, but now that has been introduced, that previous abusive relationship, it almost appears as if she's remembering those incidents that took place and kind of tapping into the emotion of those situations and applying it to this. Again, I don't know what Stefon did, but as this is being placed in front of me, I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? Because like you could tell that she's definitely recollecting something, but we don't know exactly how her mind is working. And it's just a sad situation. I hate that she went through that, to be all the way real and transparent. Y'all know I'm not about that shit at all. I'm over here. Whether this is about Stefon or not, whoever that was, hopefully life is kicking his ass. But yeah, we'll move forward.
We did discuss money and payment.
Ms. Adams, you just testified under oath about what happened on December 2nd.
Okay, I also didn't put in a police report our sexual relationship because I was ashamed. The police report got leaked. I didn't put a lot of things. The most important thing was the attack in the police report. Me reporting anything outside of why he got upset, I didn't feel the need to put it. I was scared of how it was received by the public. He's in a very public relationship with Cardi B. So I did not put a lot of things in the police report. My most important thing was him assaulting me and choking me and slapping. He owed me that he said that he would invest in my business.
So
I took a lower pay because Stefon agreed that I will have chance to work on my business by working with
Ms.
him.
Adams, there's no question in front of you right now. And again,
So that money that she agreed to, which I said was underpaid, she said she agreed to take lower pay because she was going to get to work on her business, which reads to me, you work for me, you come, heal me, use it as part of your resume, your history, and you could go on and make even more money at a later time, because you now have Stefon Diggs, personal chef, as a part of your bio. You could go out and get a bag. They say, hey, we didn't ask you that.
That he said that he would invest in my business.
So
I took a lower pay because Stefon agreed that I will have chance to work on my business by working with
Ms.
him.
Adams, there's no question in front of you right now. And again, please answer the questions put to you. It's not an opportunity for you just to end with your story.
you told other falsehoods to Officer Ellis, didn't you?
No, not to my knowledge.
You told Officer Ellis that you had injuries from this alleged assault, right?
I told him I had bruising, meaning redness, and soreness on my throat.
So this is her the day after the incident actually took place. She's in a car. She said she had bruises and redness on her neck and stuff like that. We don't get a clear view of her entire neck, so I can't say what is and isn't there. I don't personally see it, but it could be there. This is dash cam footage of her in the car the next day. They also have another clip of her after this alleged incident took place. So they played this in court of her after this incident took place. She is dancing to Children's Story by Slick Rick. Hey, classic record, by the way. We all love it. But again, we don't see any bruises. She says she was slapped, she was choked. But unfortunately, we don't see the markings and bruising that she spoke to. Now, I'm not, again, saying that it didn't happen or that it wasn't there. All I'm saying is we can't personally, let me not speak for y'all. I can't personally see it. Again, we would need more close-ups. I don't know if any photographs were submitted in the police report to give us some closer look at her face, at her neck, at her, upper region of her body to see if that bruising is consistent with her story. But as of now, I can't say that I see it, Now, some people may say, well, why is she dancing in the first place? Why does she seem so jolly and happy if she was just abused the previous day? I can't answer that question. I've never personally been abused, in that way. But I can imagine that in 24 hours of a day, somebody might decide to dance to a song that they like. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucked up shit happens to people all the time. They find joy in the situation, but that doesn't mean that it goes away or that it didn't happen. So I can't say, you know what I mean? Just being all the way fair. Now, I believe this trial is supposed to proceed for 3 days. So I guess we'll just have to keep coming back and reconvening. Again, I'm not going to sit online and just like live review everything as it's happening for hours and hours and hours. There are some people out there that are doing that, that will do that. And more power to them for the ability and the time that I don't have. Okay. So we'll just have to come back, reconvene at a later time. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Much love and respect. Be sure to like and share this video. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know y'all thoughts, man. And if this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I'll see y'all in a minute. Peace.
Yeah, family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking, the drama be piling on. Father and greats unacknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5 sit bank accounts, every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I could do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I'll turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your health care. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I ran for filth. The sympathy cause consulting for the stacks.